So, um, it seems like every time I try to do one video about one topic, another one comes up. So, that being said, I want to talk about desperation. um, and I was gonna start out by talking about this edition of Cosmo with Shakira on it. Um, but honestly, some more interesting things have popped up that I'd rather talk about. So, you know what's petty? Desperate people. Um, I started to do a relationship, or I did a relationships video, and I talked about um that I'm single and how I'm cool with that. Why not? Um, there's so much I have to offer, and there's so much a lot of people have to offer, and let's not just sit here and feel bad for ourselves. Like, let's not, why not experience life? And I think a relationship, especially a serious one, is kind of deep. Like, experiencing your life with someone else, that's kind of deep. Anyways, um, that being said, I'm also single because I I said this previously that I just haven't found something that really gives me butterflies. Um, Everybody has those like flutter moments, but I want butterflies, and I refuse to settle for less, honestly. And I don't think anybody else should either. You should never settle for a relationship. You should be with somebody that you want to be with, that you feel one way about and they feel the same way, and that you all are meeting at the same place, that y'all can meet in the middle. And that's really deep to me. So when I hear about shit like people going to these extremities to meet people, or like just going to these extremities to meet people, or just dating like stupid people, like, okay, so you fell in love. God bless you. That, ooh, I never say that. God bless you. I'm glad you experienced it, because that's deep. And to think that there's some people who don't experience that sometimes. Um, but I'm glad you found love and you got your feet wet and you know what it's like, you know what's right, and you know what to expect, and you know what not to settle for. But you can't go searching for that with everyone. And I mean, so you fell in love with, pick a name like Fred. Cool. You fell in love with Fred and you guys aren't together anymore. There's a strong possibility there's going to be about 5 more Freds in your life. 5 more people who sweep you off your feet. And that's a rough estimate. Could be less, could be more. That's just a rough estimate. I don't know. I'm only 20. Um, but like desperation. Like, I hear about people driving across the state to meet someone who they've never met before. That's petty as fuck and extremely dangerous. It is 2010. Motherfuckers are crazy. That is so crazy. I'm not here to judge. I'm being real. That's really crazy. I don't care if you're male or female. That's really crazy. Um, Especially, what if it doesn't work out too? Like, do you regret going? Or do you think about all the gas you wasted? I don't know. I don't see myself ever doing that. Like, you drive across state for your boyfriend, not for someone that you're meeting for the first time. That's just awkward to me. And I'm not saying that it hasn't ended in a horror story, because I have heard good stories about that. People who went out on a limb and, in my opinion, got lucky. But people who went out on a limb and were reciprocated something so good. But I mean, desperation, or like trying to cuff a guy, ladies, dudes trying to cuff chicks, who aren't even worth your time. first of all, the word cuff is just not even a word I like to use. But people trying to like hold on to people. There's so many fish in the sea. So many. And the sea is so big. We in an ocean, baby. And maybe that person didn't work out for you right now, but maybe they need some growing up, or maybe you need some growing up. And maybe y'all meet in the middle. Maybe y'all will come back. I believe that some people do meet in the middle. That maybe that person wasn't right for you then, and you both had to do some separation time, date other people, and go through some other personal experiences, fall in love with somebody else, to just see that that time wasn't for y'all, and to come back and be on the same wavelength. And not every ex is gonna be your best friend either. That happens. Sometimes you just end on bad terms with people. I'm not a fan of that. But some people fuck up, okay? I don't know. I don't understand. Like, why can't people be upfront in relationships, and why can't people be upfront with themselves? If you're upfront with yourself, you won't be desperate and you won't settle for anything. You won't just go for anything. You won't try and cuff anyone who comes around. Like, I love myself too much to settle. I love myself too much to date somebody stupid. I I would hate if somebody felt like they were settling dating me. Like, but I mean, maybe I'm not where they're at. It's not an insult. That's being real. It's one thing if you tell somebody you're not good enough. That's petty and immature of you. And what's also immature is not. People also seem to look for closure when they get out of relationships, and I don't believe that you need closure necessarily every time. There might be times where you do, instances where you do need closure, but I don't think you always need closure necessarily to move on. I think it's very much an internal thing, and just a time. Sometimes it's time, but I think it's very much so internal. Something that you have to get over yourself. But like, I think it's really desperate trying to hold on to somebody because you don't know what you want to do with them. Just dragging them along, keeping them on the back burner. Like, have some respect for yourself and that other person to like let them go. That doesn't mean they're gone forever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hopeful with relationships, but um, I'm all about being upfront with yourself and other people that come in and out of your life or stick around. Why not? Like, why beat around the bush with yourself of all people? If you know you're being desperate, because people always know when they're being desperate, just, I mean, I don't know. I just, I'm just leave on this note. Like, I love myself too much to be desperate and settle for any old goon that comes in my world or tries to come in my world. Um, I feel blessed to be a part of people's lives, and I would hope that people feel the same way about me because I feel so blessed to be your friend, your girlfriend, your ex, like someone that you just know, someone who smiled at you. Like, that's a blessing. It's a miracle that we're here, and it's a miracle to meet somebody that you like, in my opinion. And why not make the best of both worlds? Just don't settle for less. Don't be desperate. The end. I'm just gone. Bye, y'all.